Trying to get some more news in. My colleague is not here for the rest of the week, so I'm going to be doing an extra half hour. Thank you. Let's go. Having a good time. I hope you are also, this is my time of year, elections. I'm trying to figure what else I should talk about. Oh, there is a blackout. Let me see. Let me see where else I'm gonna go. I'm gonna talk about. There's a blackout in. I'm gonna go with Angie Nixon shocking this. Let's do a quick Harry and Meghan. Hit the Harry and Meghan are moving back to UK. I'm gonna talk about that. I guess that's a hot topic right now. But the Florida primaries is where it's at. Welcome. This is Suzette Speaks. I come live, hopefully more than what I'm doing now, Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Shout out to everybody who's been here, day ones and twos and threes. Anyway, hope all is well.
Day two, Miami. Lisa B. Ragamuffin International. I'm glad you call I man. I'm muffin raga.
Anyway, I hope all is well. Welcome, welcome. I'm getting ready to start my show live here in Miami if you're new on Voice of the Caribbean Radio. We go live, like I said, Thursday and Fridays from 1 to 2. I go longer some days. Today is an extra half hour because my colleague is not here. And I hope you're having a good day. We're talking about Florida election results as well as Harry and Meghan, I think we're going to do now. And let me think what else. Harry and Meghan. There's a blackout in Gary, Indiana as well. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it. Hey. Hey. Oh, my. Oui. Oui. Sorry, all under my arm. Sorry. All right, y'all can't hear the music because I don't want to get copyright. Still going. We. We. Hey, welcome back. It's the Suzette Speaks Show. I'm so happy you're still rocking with us. It is a beautiful day, and the city time is now 2:06. You notice it's not Lisa B. Don't worry, she'll be back through. But we're doing a little OT today, and I hope that's all right with you. This is the Suzette Speaks Show, the special edition, right? We come to you, extended edition. We come to you live every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I want to big up Miss Lisa B for allowing us to have a little extra time, a little bit of extra time. But we're so grateful. Big up everybody listening. Big up everybody watching. I'm on my YouTube. Big up everybody watching on the YouTube. Suzette Speaks. You can look me up on YouTube. Follow me. Log into the YouTube page. Same at the Voice of of the Caribbean. You can log into Voice of the Caribbean page. Follow us on all platforms. Did you know that the Voice of the Caribbean is also an app in your app store, whether you are a those Apple people in the Apple Store or like us, the cool people, the Android people in the Google Play Store. Make sure you download the app. Take us wherever you go. That's my favorite way to listen to my station right here. We are South Florida's #1 Caribbean American station. So we love to do it for the people, with the people, by the people. And what we're doing today, we're going a little bit more in depth to what happened. This is the national news story, right? That rocked the country, the outcome that no one expected. How Angie Nixon beat the odds and pulled off Florida's most shocking primary upset. We're talking about that. Also want to pivot a little bit. If you're just joining me, did you hear about Harry and Meghan? The good royals? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Yes, after 6 years, according to thegrio.com, after 6 years of living in the United States, Harry and Meghan are, some are reporting, heading back to the UK. What changed? This is a news story just published today, hot off the press, unpacking the Duke and Duchess of Sussex return to England after 6 years of building a life in California. Now, the TikTokers have had something to say about this. Let me tell you, I cover social media trends, y'all, so this is a little bit into it. I won't get deep into it, but just so you know what the TikTok streets are saying. After 6 years of living stateside, following a dramatic exit from the royal family amid much turmoil, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry shocked the masses when they revealed they are heading back across the pond. Why do you think they're doing this, guys? So much speculation. Well, according to the Grio, on Wednesday, August 19th, it was reported that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their 2 children, Prince Archie, now 7, can you believe it? I can't believe Archie, the cute little baby, the redhead, looking like his daddy, Prince Archie, and Princess Lilibet, who's now 5. Boy, kids don't stay little. Wow, I'd love to see what they look like now. Prince Archie of 7. Are you a royalist or some of y'all don't care? We're just going to touch and go, all right? Prince Archie, 7, Princess Lilibet, 5, are gearing up to return to England later this month with the children enrolled in school there for the fall. Wow, the family will reportedly live in a private non-royal residence outside of London while maintaining their homes in California and Portugal. The development is an interesting one, according to the Grio, and shocking to many who follow the royals because it arrives after the family spent 6 years building a life in Montecito, California, amid turmoil with the royal family, major legal battles over protection that they did not end up, giving to Harry. Remember, Harry wanted, I guess it was like security, and he never got it. And of course, their dramatic decision to quit their royal duties. Y'all think they inching back into the royal family? You think this is like a bid to become working royals again? I like Meghan Markle. Some people don't like her. I don't know. Gee, this is my opinion. I think she's cool. And it's not easy going into an established firm, as they call it, the firm, as the royal family, where there's so much expectation, so much scrutiny. Almost imagine, you think there's institutional bias here in the United States. Imagine the institutional bias against half African American actress from the United States when entering the royal family. Do you think they were happy about her marrying Prince Harry? I don't know. People are on the TikTok streets are wondering what's going to change and why now. Is it because the United States has been kind of going off the wheels, off the rails? Is it because, look around, y'all. Would you leave if you had a dual citizenship or if you had an opportunity? I say if you leave, but I'm asking. Well, people are saying follow the money as well. You know, there's going to be these commentators that say, well, it's about the money. They're trying to become working royals. But others are saying, look at the family dynamics. King Charles. We were calling him Prince Charles for so long. King Charles. And the, what's the wife? Queen. Oh my gosh, she slips me. King Charles. What was it? Camilla. Queen Camilla. I don't know, they're getting older. Nothing wrong with getting old. They're becoming, King Charles was the longest royal in waiting. He also had a cancer scare and a health scare, etc. And also, Kate, Princess Kate and Harry's brother, William, Sorry, I'm a royalist, but not that deep. Mr. William, Princess Kate and Prince William. You know, they have a lot of duties, and maybe they could use the help, or maybe they want the family to know each other, know their cousins, know the culture, right? They don't want to miss out and become fully, misunderstood in terms of understanding cultural practices that goes with being a part of that type of society. So anyway, Harry and Meghan back to the UK is also top story today. But the main story we want to cover is our elections, what happened and why. I'll read this one from The Root. TheRoot.com has a cover story published yesterday. How Angie Nixon beat the odds and pulled off Florida's most shocking primary upset. Did you watch the election night coverage? I did. I was biting my nails. I was going to go to an election rally, like a post-election candidate party. I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay at home because I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, something was telling me, don't go nowhere. Just chill and watch it. And I was screaming at the TV when these election results were coming in. As Angie Nixon entered the Florida primary race as an underdog with far less money and far less national recognition. And I think that actually helped her because there was not a lot of arrows coming at her. People didn't know who she was, or people didn't think she had an actual chance. So the outside money around the country didn't come pouring into Florida to come attack her prematurely. Now she's going to get the arrows. But this is a story by author Phoenix Haley for TheRoot.com. And this is what she says. Here's how she beat Alex Vindman anyway after being under fundraised, right? Outspent. Jacksonville State Rep Angie Nixon entered Florida's Democratic Senate primary Tuesday as the clear underdog against Alex Vindman, a nationally known former Army officer with a massive fundraising advantage. Then the ballots were tallied. Well, let me tell you, ballots beat books. Quote by Roland Martin, ballots beat books. When you show up to vote, it don't matter how much the other person have in their war chest, in their bank vault. It doesn't matter. It matters who shows up the day by the closing of the polls. Nonetheless, according to The Root, Angie Nixon, 42 years of age, defeated Alex Vindman in a stunning victory, winning 56% of the vote. The win put a Democratic Socialist on the November ballot in a state where Republicans have dominated statewide politics for years, especially under former President Donald Trump. The odds were stacked against Nixon. He's still the president. This article says former president. That's why I paused. This is what I'm reading from The Root, but it says, especially under former President Donald Trump. He's actually the president now. Anyway, The Root got that part wrong. Anyway, the odds were stacked against Angie Nixon from the start. Here's everything you should know about Nixon as we inch closer to the November midterm elections. She won while being dramatically outspent. Vindman, her opponent, the former director of European Affairs for the National Security Council, raised more than $16 million for the race, compared with just below $1 million for Angie Nixon, according to The Guardian. Obviously, that is not a small fundraising gap. It is the kind of gap that can define a campaign before voters even get to the polls, according to TheRoot.com. So how did she pull it off, they ask? The answer traces back to Nixon's connections in Florida politics long before she was running for Senate. Nixon was born and raised in Jacksonville and got her start in politics as a community organizer, according to her campaign website. She worked as a district aide to then State Rep Mia Jones and later became involved in labor organizing, like labor unions and voter engagement. She eventually served as executive director of Florida for All, a progressive organization focused on mobilizing voters. In 2020, Nixon ran for Florida House in Jacksonville and won a Democratic primary against an incumbent, meaning someone who had held the seat for a long time and was running again. She unseated incumbent Kimberly Daniels, according to the Florida Times-Union. She went on to represent a Jacksonville district in Tallahassee, where she became one of the legislator's most outstanding and outspoken progressive leaders. That background we just discussed, according to The Root, gave Nixon something that set her apart from many candidates. What do you think that is? Deep local ties. While Alex Vindman brought national attention, Angie Nixon leaned into being the candidate who knew Florida communities and progressive activists from the ground up. She showed up at local Democratic meetings, talked directly with voters, and made her underdog status part of her appeal. Her politics gave voters a clear choice. Now, 3 weeks before she won this race, Angie Nixon decided to join the Democratic Socialists of America. So they are labeling her a socialist. She's running as a Democratic Socialist. Well, what does it mean? According to The Root, Nixon campaigned as a Democratic Socialist, supporting policies including Medicare for all, right? Healthcare for all, a $25 minimum wage, and expanded access to child care. Everyone should have access to child care. Paid for. That's what it means. Like, you should not have child care, proper, safe child care, if you can't afford it. She framed the race around the everyday pressures facing working Floridians, like housing, wages, health care, and the cost of living. Just, hey, I'm talking about this. She's talking about this. Everyday Floridians, that's what they want to talk about. So it helped her on the campaign trail, which parallel to the top issues expressed across this country leading up to the midterms. Everybody's talking about money, the cost of living. She also built a reputation for putting her activism into action. Nixon was arrested this year during a protest against Republican redistricting efforts and is facing misdemeanor charges related to the demonstration when she was on her bullhorn. This is illegal. You cannot redistrict. You cannot draw these illegal maps, cutting out majority-minority districts, splitting up black communities so they don't have any real power. You have a little drop of majority black neighborhoods in huge white majority districts. So there's no more influence on who will win in terms of the power of the voters. So according to The Root, Angie Nixon, used local organizing, sharing an unapologetically progressive message, and her willingness to fight is what resonated with voters. Now the Democrat faces an entirely different challenge as she runs against Republican Senator Ashley Moody in November. What y'all think? The Republicans have a vote total advantage. Remember, 1 million more Republicans are currently registered in the state of Florida. That's across the state, not just in the South Florida region. Across the state, there are more registered Republicans. But they said she couldn't do it in the primary. Some people are saying, oh, it's over. The Democrats can't win. Ashley Moody is going to take this Senate seat. What do you guys think? If people don't show up, actually, that's probably going to happen. But if we can wake the sleeping giant, I don't know what it will take to wake up our friends and neighbors across this state, and specifically here in South Florida, in Miami, in Broward, in Palm Beach. Congratulations against the winners. I'm going to go over a few more of those winners before we get out of here. According to The Root, after a wild Florida election on Tuesday, the primary, black voters just sent a clear message to Republicans and Democrats, according to this article. Published yesterday, from Trump-backed Republicans to Democratic Socialists, Florida's black voters are sending both parties a message. Don't assume you know them. Hello, somebody. This is according to TheRoot.com. The article is authored by Phoenix S. Haley, published yesterday. It reads, forget everything you thought you knew about black voters. Florida's primary just blew up the script. A Trump-backed black Republican is headed towards the governor's race. A black progressive has emerged as a Democratic Senate nominee. And a white longtime Democrat has won the newly drawn, heavily black congressional district. That's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Put those results together, and one thing is clear: Florida's black electorate cannot be reduced to a single political lane. Hello, somebody. This is according to TheRoot.com. Starting with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, some people mad about this win. Some people mad. Women say mad. How did a woman that doesn't reflect the majority of the racial demographics of the district win? Well, Some say divide and conquer. Other people say, well, we did it to ourselves. We should have allied behind one person. I think the people who did not engage and the people who did not vote made the biggest difference, guys. There's enough votes here to have elected several people, no matter how much people was in the race. But anyway, let me read the article. Starting with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. 3 races stand out in particular. Start with Debbie. She won the Democratic primary in the newly drawn, heavily black South Florida Congressional District, District 20. Her campaign immediately raised the provocative question, does having a black electorate necessarily mean having a black representative? Some people said it should have been. Others, clearly, I remember she won 40%, but that means the majority still voted for somebody else. But there were so many people that split the vote that she got the highest vote total. Wasserman Schultz's victory came in a district transformed by redistricting and after several black candidates competed for the Democratic nomination. Her win is a reminder, according to TheRoot.com, that representation is about more than demographics. Voters also weigh experience, relationships, political power, and who they believe can actually deliver. But there's another lesson here. When multiple black candidates divide the vote, the candidate who ultimately benefits may not be the one that they most expected. Oh my. Then the race of Byron Donalds. Then there's Byron Donalds. According to TheRoot.com, the Trump-backed Republican won the GOP nomination for governor, putting a black Republican at the center of what could become one of the most closely watched political contests in Florida. Donalds is making a direct pitch to black voters, arguing that issues like the cost of living, insurance, education, and economic opportunity can cross party lines. And that pitch cannot simply be dismissed. You think black people are going to cross over and vote for Byron Donalds? Let's listen to the root, what they're saying here. Republicans have long struggled. Suzette, hurry up, man. Gosh, I'm almost out of time. Let me get through this. Republicans have long struggled to make meaningful gains among black voters, but Donalds represents a different proposition. What happens when a black candidate asks voters to separate racial identity from partisan identity? For Democrats, that's the question that they must take seriously. Y'all think black people are going to cross over to vote for him? I'm curious. Shout out to my black Republicans listening. Hey, we got love for everybody, but y'all think it's going to be a movement because he's black? Well, once again, I'm inviting him. I'm inviting David Jolly, everybody who's running for governor. Let's go. Because there's going to be a long list, you guys, of independents. Oh, man, I got to get to that list. Anyway, lastly, as we've been talking about today on the Suzette Speaks Show, then comes Angie Nixon's great upset. According to TheRoot.com, the progressive Jacksonville state representative running as a Democratic socialist. She defeated Alex Vindman in the Democratic Senate primary, United States Senate primary, despite being dramatically outspent. Her victory puts another black candidate on the November ballot, this time from the party's progressive wing. She wants to make change. Medicare for all, child care expansion for all, $25 minimum wage. She's coming with some bold progressive ideas. Miss Nixon creates a fascinating contrast because Byron Donalds is asking black voters to look to the right, a more conservative way, while Angie Nixon is asking them to look further to the left. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz's victory complicates the picture even more, according to The Root. Taken together, these races deliver an unmistakably interesting message about black voters in Florida, which is we are not all alike. We are not a monolith. They are being courted by, now through Byron Donalds, the Trump-backed conservative, energized by a Democratic socialist, Angie Nixon, in a heavily black district which chose experience, some people would say, in the form of a white Democrat, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. For both parties, this could be a wake-up call. The real battle for Florida's black voters isn't simply over party labels, it's over trust, representation, economic security, and whether candidates can make a convincing case that they will fight for Black communities once the campaign is over. Y'all, November is cooking. We're in full campaign swing. You can read this article for yourself on theroot.com. November will show us which one of these messages is going to stick. Let me tell you. The primaries are gone. We're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. As I told you, I'm kind of happy and sad with these results, but that's okay. I'm going to break it down tomorrow even more with my outgoing intern. I'm so excited that she was able to join us for the month of August before she heads back to school. Miss Lexi will help me out tomorrow, and we're going to get into it even more. How do you feel about this election season? Don't worry. We still have a little bit more to go. Primaries were vital, very important. They help to choose who goes head to head from the Republicans versus the Democrat in the general election this November 3rd. So if you didn't vote, you still have a chance to vote. If you still didn't register to get your vote by mail, go on your Supervisor of Elections website and order your vote by mail. Just look up your county name and Supervisor of Election. Then you can do vote by mail requests online. You don't have to go there. Online, do your vote by mail requests now for November if you haven't done it. What changes elections? Not books, ballots. People going and making their voices heard. Shout out to Oliver Gilbert, who also won, the school board members that won. I didn't even get to go over all of the election results between Broward and Miami-Dade. We'll have some more time tomorrow. We just wanted to make sure we touched on some of the bigger races and some of the larger takeaways that are being discussed really nationwide. We have a lot of work to do, folks, to get people engaged. Congratulations to Annette Taddeo on the Democratic side for Chief Financial Officer, and on the Republican side, Blaise Ingoglia, Chief Financial Officer. For the Commissioner of Agriculture, Wilton Simpson, the incumbent, won the majority, 69%. And on the Democratic side, Joey Mendoza Atkins. We got more to talk about, so little time. I appreciate you guys joining me for this special extended edition of the Suzette Speaks Show. Make sure you keep it locked here. Suzette Speaks Show comes to you every Thursday and Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I enjoy chatting with you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make it a great day. Thanks for listening.
Of the Caribbean, better sounding radio.
Looking for a new car? Looking for a used car? Check out M&J Auto Sales. My bad. Oh, God, I've been saying it wrong. M&J United Auto Sales. M&J United Auto Sales.
I'll see
We
you
will
guys.
do all
Have a good
things
day.
other dealers can't do with no problem. 500 credits.